Hey guys, MCU Collector here with a new video, and this one's going to be kind of a different video. I'm going to showcase some of the Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse toys that I have, and then I want to talk about the movie. So, you know, from what you see in the thumbnail, there is going to be spoilers for the movie because I did see it this evening on the special, you know, early screening that was in select theaters across the country. I was very fortunate enough to have one of those theaters actually be in my hometown, Modesto. So I saw it tonight. It played at 7 p.m. And I absolutely love the movie. So if you don't want to be spoiled on the movie, turn the video off now. Don't watch it. Exit out of YouTube. But if you don't mind hearing spoilers, or if you actually caught the early screening today and you want somebody else to talk to, we can go back and forth on the comments. We can chat about it, or you just want to hear my thoughts. Sure, but I am going to show off some of these toys and stuff, so I do keep it toy related. You know, first thoughts on the movie. I thought it was absolutely fantastic. If you follow me on Instagram, you would have already seen that I posted that I called it the best Spider-Man movie, and captioned the post as yep, I said it, because you know what? Yeah, I said it. The best Spider-Man movie. Something about this movie was just so good. It just, the story, the script, the comedy, the drama, all the emotions that were going and playing in this film, all the characterizations of everything between the Spider people, Spider-Man, Miles Morales, and Peter Parker, Gwen Stacy, just everything about it. It was just absolutely fantastic. I just loved this movie. It was just executed so well, so good. Such a good movie. On the 14th or the 13th, on the Thursday night showing, whenever you get a chance, please go see this movie because it is phenomenal. And when you're done watching it, let me know. Hit me up on, you know, Facebook, Instagram, here in the comments. Let me know what you guys thought of the movie, because I am curious to see. Am I just completely hyped up because I saw it early and just really liked it? Am I completely biased because it's Spider-Man and it's me? I do want to know, but I am sitting here confidently saying that this was the best Spider-Man movie. So really cool surprises that were in this movie as well, which I really like. So, you know, we know which characters are in it. We know that there is Peter Parker. We know that there is Miles Morales. We know that there is Spider-Ham. And these are the mainline Walmart exclusive Hot Wheels. There's 6 to this set. We know there's the SPDR or Spider with Penny Parker. Gwen Stacy, Spider-Gwen, of course. And then the 6th car in this wave, this is kind of the chase car because it's short packed, only one per case. It's just the Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse logo. So there is the 6th set there. So again, Walmart exclusive, and I know everyone's having a hard time finding the number 6 car. But there they are. So really cool. We'll get those out of the way. As far as the characters, so we know all the characters that are in this movie based on the trailers and things like that, if you stay up and watch all the trailers. Now, there are several surprises that I wasn't expecting at all. Now, Tombstone was in the movie, and I think that was actually caught at one time when someone slowed down a clip from one of the trailers. So, Tombstone, we kind of knew Tombstone was going to be in the movie, so not a big deal there. We knew Green Goblin was going to be in the movie. He's not in it a whole lot, just early on in the film, and he, you know, he's referred to as Norman, so he is Norman Osborn. They don't mention the Osborn name, but they do mention Norman. We know Prowler is one of the main villains of the film. We know Scorpion is in it. And then we also know the Kingpin is in the movie. So really cool there. You see images of Hammerhead. And I'm trying to think off the top of my head if there was anyone else in that. Not that I can think of, but one of the big surprises, and everything left this out. So again, another spoiler warning, big spoiler warning. When Peter Parker and Miles Morales, when they need to go to Alchemex to be able to get into the system and hack the system or whatever it is, so there is somebody that's the leader of the lab. Her name is Liv. We come to find out Liv is short for Olivia Octavius. So there is a Doc Ock in this movie, which completely surprised. no idea there was going to be a Doc Ock in this movie, and it turns out Doc Ock is a woman. So really cool. It was handled very nice, very interesting design, as you could really tell from what we see from the movie, like the scorpion over there. That's a really odd one. You guys will have to let me know in the Ultimate universe, how did Scorpion look? Did he look like that? Because I have no idea. You guys let me know down in the comments below. Prowler, you know, he stays pretty faithful to the purple and green, a different design. SPDR is a complete different design. And then obviously we know Miles Morales' suit's a little bit different, and I will tell you why here shortly. And then Spider-Gwen's basically the same from the comics. There's very little difference there. Spider-Man Noir is faithful to the comic. Spider-Ham is faithful to the comic as well. So really cool. So the Doc Ock, huge surprise. Didn't see that coming. Didn't know it was going to be that way. Now, I think early marketing and everything led you to believe that Prowler is going to be the main villain in the film. So there's no surprise that, you know, if you know from the comics, you know from even Homecoming, Aaron Davis is the Prowler in the Ultimate Universe. And Aaron Davis is the uncle to Miles Morales. So that's not any kind of shocker or surprise. General audiences will be like, oh my god, I can't believe it. It's a pretty deep moment, filled with emotion, actually, when you watch the film, in context of the film. But we knew that ahead of time going in, right? So we knew that. Now, what... I kind of lost my train of thought there with Prowler. What were we talking about? Oh, this Prowler is the main villain. Prowler is not the main villain. He's a very important part of the film because, spoiler alert, he is killed by the Kingpin because he finds out that Miles Morales is Spider-Man, so he stops attacking him, and then Kingpin shoots him. So Miles Morales' uncle's death really catapults him at a key turning point of the film. Just like Peter Parker's Uncle Ben, Gwen Stacy's best friend Peter Parker, because it stays very faithful to the comic where it shows a silhouette of the lizard. She kicks it, and you can see it transforms into a regular person, and it is her universe's Peter Parker. And then they talk about Spider-Man Noir, same thing, his Uncle Benjamin. So they all talk about key loss that happened that really was the turning point, and then them becoming a hero. So it was interesting. So the main villain is Kingpin, where the side villains, Tombstone, Scorpion, even Doc Ock, and Green Goblin, they're minor to the film. Doc Ock and Prowler being more so than Scorpion and Green Goblin, but definitely minor villains, whereas Kingpin is really the big bad of the film, because the story of the movie is because Kingpin has lost his family, so he has the super collider to open the different dimensions to be able to bring his family from a different dimension to his, because he misses his family. But that's where all the Spider-Verse, that's how it all happens. Peter Parker gets sucked in, Gwen Stacy got sucked in, Spider-Man Noir, Peter Parker, and Penny, they all got sucked in because these 5 different dimensions opened up. And of course, with an awesome thing, and you have to really catch it. I only noticed 2 in particular of the Earths. There was Earth 616 and Earth 1610. So they had the main Marvel Universe and the Ultimate Universe actually on a map showing there, so on the computer screen. So it was really cool. They kept it all very faithful to the comics, which I really, really enjoyed. Obviously, yes, I think they took some liberties on some designs and things like that. Wilson Fisk works for Alchemex. That's his company, not Fisk Enterprises or whatever it may be. So there's obviously that was different. Jefferson Davis is a police officer as opposed to the original story where he's a SHIELD agent and gets, you know, there's a whole lot of backstory there. So obviously some things did have to change, but a lot of it was pretty faithful, again, to the comics. So that was really cool. Now, one thing, and it caught me off guard, because if you watch the movie, you watch the trailers, you know who plays Peter Parker, and that's Jake Johnson, who was like in New Girl, Nick from New Girl. Love that show, by the way. So when the film opened up, you actually have a Peter Parker Spider-Man that's in Miles Morales' universe, and it's actually Chris Pine, the actor Chris Pine. So it was pretty cool. We actually have a big name actor, and it's a great cast already, but a big name actor like Chris Pine was actually playing Peter Parker, Spider-Man. So I thought that was pretty interesting. But you know, in the battle with Green Goblin, with Prowler, with Kingpin, the Super Collider opening up the dimensions, Peter's there. And he has to try and stop it from happening, and unfortunately he's unsuccessful. And of course Miles is kind of all mixed up in this because he had been bitten by a spider from Alchemax, and that gave him his powers. So he had gone back to originally where he was bitten, and just got sucked in by all this his spider sense and everything. Kind of drew it all together. But Kingpin ends up killing Spider-Man. And just before that happened, Miles and Peter were talking. And Peter made Miles promise that he would do everything that he can to get it stopped, because he knew that he was like him. So it was pretty awesome moment in that movie. So really cool. On to the suit. Now the suit, throughout most of the film, a big majority of the film, he doesn't have a proper Spider-Man suit. You know, he just got his powers like 2 days ago from the time that the ending of the film comes in. Really takes place only over a couple of days. So he doesn't really have a suit. He uses the little Spider-Man costume, which I'll talk about more in a minute because it's just awesome. But he uses that Spider-Man costume that you see in the trailers, you know, when he's learning to web swing with Peter Parker, and then that's where Spider-Gwen is first introduced. As Spider-Gwen, Gwen Stacy, or Gwanda, or Wanda, if you watch the film, you know what I'm talking about. When they first come in contact with her, that's when, you know, he's wearing that spider costume. So they go to that universe's Aunt May, because everyone finds out that it was Peter Parker because he died. They knew the identity of Spider-Man, Mary Jane, all this and that. So they go to Aunt May, and Aunt May is the one that actually Peter Parker was there, Penny was there, Spider-Man Noir were there. But they had that universe's Peter Parker has this shed underground where it has all kinds of cool gadgets. So you see a helicopter, I guess, is in there. I don't remember seeing it, but I think it was mentioned. Motorcycle, and then you see the Spider-Mobile. The Spider Buggy was there. So awesome moments, so the cool Easter eggs in the film. But there's like almost like an Iron Man Hall of Armor with the different suits. So you have the advanced suit from the PlayStation 4. Sorry about that, guys. So the advanced suit from the Spider-Man game is in the movie. It's just there. So it's just kind of fun to kind of really see it there, but it's not important to the film in any way. But there's a bunch of different suits. So at the end, when Miles kind of gets control of his powers and the emotions are there, he goes back to Aunt May. She gives him new web shooters. And then Miles, because he does artwork, some graffiti tag style stuff, he spray paints a red and blue suit. So that's why you see the spray paint look. It's because he spray painted a regular red and blue Spider-Man suit to do that. So just like here on the Hot Wheel, if you could see it, you can see the web lines that he's supposed to have that unfortunately the figure didn't have. It's because the suit is a regular red and blue Peter Parker Spider-Man suit, and it's just spray painted. So in the film, you can actually see some of the blue in some areas come through. So they actually did some detail on it to make sure that those things are kind of seen in the movie. And then speaking of the animation style is unlike anything I've seen before. And maybe it's because I don't watch a whole lot of animation anything. But it was awesome. I love the style, the semi-3D look. I thought I was going to get dizzy or not like it so much. You know, after seeing the trailers and stuff, I'm like, oh, this is cool. But then, hey, some of it looks blurry. It's done very well, and I don't think anybody will have a problem as you're watching the movie. So no need to worry about that. So that's why the suit has that spray painted look, and I think it's awesome. Now, one other thing, when I talked about that Spider-Man costume that he was wearing, he went to a store, and I can't remember what the store's name was, but it had mention of a certain cameo character that we know and love, that, may he rest in peace, Stan Lee. So there is a Stan Lee cameo. It is absolutely awesome. He's the store owner, and he's ringing up Miles Morales for that costume. Really cool, and there was a nice little tribute at the end. I tried to take a picture of it, and unfortunately I couldn't get to it, so I don't remember what it says, but it was pretty awesome and really heartfelt moment, especially when you see Stan Lee on the screen. But man, this movie was absolutely awesome. So just gonna wrap it up. Great movie, really fueled by the story that it's telling, the emotion that's coming across in Miles' journey from being this kid at this new school to gaining these powers, to losing his uncle, to being thrust into this world of being a hero and having to take on the challenge of that, keeping his promise to the original Peter Parker, is just absolutely awesome. I love the movie. I'm so lucky that I was able to get to an early screening. So next week when it comes out, you guys enjoy the movie. It's just fantastic. I hope you guys go and see it. I hope you love it. I hope it wins the Golden Globe for the best animated film, because you know what? As much as I love Disney, Incredibles 2 and Ralph Breaks the Internet has nothing on this movie. It is a absolute great movie. I give it a 10 out of 10. And again, the best Spider-Man movie, in my opinion. But that's what it is. Now, if you guys have any questions about the movie, let me know down in the comments below. Hit that thumbs up. Subscribe if you haven't already done so. And as always, thank you for watching. But wait! At the end of this video, of course, you got to add in a tag. So stay for after the credits, because there is one post-credit scene. And that post-credit scene is amazing, because who do we get to see? First opens up with some AI talking about the multiverse and it's being saved. It didn't collapse. And then we see none other than Miguel O'Hara from Alchemax in the future, 2099. Spider-Man 2099 in his blue and red suit. Awesome. And he has this device so he can go through different dimensions, and he goes to the beginning. And you know that classic Spider-Man image where Spider-Man from the old cartoon television is pointing at Spider-Man? He does that. So you have Spider-Man 2099, and you have that other Spider-Man with the regular red and blue, and they're pointing at each other, and they say, no, you pointed first. You're pointing at me. It was the funniest thing. Absolutely amazing. So we know that there is going to be a sequel. We know that there are spin-offs planned, an all-female spin-off that's planned, a sequel that's going to be coming. Sony killed this. I'm glad they opened up and did this movie, and they're going to continue on with this franchise. It was amazing. I am a huge fan. I absolutely loved it. There you go. Thank you guys for staying to the end of this video. Hit me up in those comments. Get me with those questions. Let's talk about this movie. I want to talk about it. I need to talk to somebody about it. Hit me up down below, guys. Thanks.